Reflections from Torch Trust, focusing on Christian faith and sight loss.
Hello and a warm welcome to Reflections. I'm your host, Marilyn Baker, and this is the show from Torch Trust that explores faith and disability in today's world. I hope you're all keeping warm in this colder time of the year, and perhaps you're even dreaming about going on holiday. Well, I'm excited to tell you that the bookings for our Torch Together holidays will open tomorrow. Torch Together Coordinator Becky Davies will come and tell us more about this year's offering.
Can you talk a little bit about what the Torch holidays are for the listeners who perhaps are not familiar with them?
So our Torch Together holidays are holidays we've been running since 2022, I think, and they're for blind and partially sighted people. They're Christian holidays because Torch Trust is Christian, and they're just a chance for people to come away with a wonderful group of people. We have some amazing volunteers, so if you need a guide, there's people there to help guide or assist you with things that you might need assistance with. So they're a lovely opportunity to, if you're not often able to have a holiday, then the Torch Together holidays are a really good chance for that. And also a chance to meet with other Christians or people who are maybe exploring the Christian faith when we have lots of fun as well.
So where are the holidays going to be this year?
So we've got 3 holidays planned. We've got 2 holidays in the Greenhouse Christian Centre in Poole. So we've been there every year since we started, and it's a really, really lovely venue. We think it might be the last year that we can go to this site, so we thought we'd make the most of it. So we're going to go there twice. So we're going to go in June, from the 9th to the 13th of June, and then we've got another week in July, so that's the 14th to the 18th of July. And then we're going to a new venue this year for us, called Highgate House, and that's in Cretan in Northamptonshire. That's run by the same people that run some other sites. So we've been to their site at High Lee last year, and that's from the 18th to the 22nd of August.
What sort of activities are there on these holidays, and what can you expect to experience?
So we do, we obviously have some outings and things. So we go to local attractions. So for example, in Poole, we've often done a boat trip around Poole Harbour. We go to the beach. We've been to Bournemouth before. So try and visit some of the local attractions. We also have a Christian speaker on each holiday to lead some morning reflections and devotion time. So we also have a bit of worship during that. So that happens each morning on each holiday. Lots of time to chat and get to know each other. We have different kind of entertainments in the evening. So there might be quizzes, there might be some musical entertainment, games. We often have an open mic night, so people can bring their own talents to that as well. So there's lots of opportunity for fun and to spend time with other people and get to know new friends. But everything on our holidays is optional. So we always say, join in with the things that you want to join in, and it's fine if you don't want to. So if you just want, a bit of quiet and peace and a bit of time on your own, then you can do that as well. In Poole, there's also a swimming pool, which is also part, we obviously make use of the heated outdoor swimming pool because that's amazing. So there'll be plenty of time to use that as well.
But who are these holidays appropriate for? Do you have to be a fully fledged Christian, or can you just be someone who might perhaps like to explore the faith, or just somebody who would like to come along to a nice holiday?
Yeah, no, you don't have to be. You don't have to see yourself as a Christian. You could be somebody who wants to explore, or somebody who just wants a friendly place to come and have a holiday. I mean, as I've said, everything is optional. So obviously we do have those Christian devotion times in the mornings, but not everyone always joins in with those, and that's absolutely fine. So it's everything is optional. It's your holiday, so you join in as much as you want to. Obviously, a lot of people that come on the holidays are Christians. But I'm sure, they're always happy to talk about what that means to them. So, if it is a chance that you want to maybe explore what being a Christian means, then it's a great opportunity for that as well. But as I said, there's no need to be a Christian or to see yourself in that way. We've had a complete mixture of ages come along on our holidays. So last year we had a lady who was 99 years old, but then we've also had people in their 20s. So it is a real mix. Some people, like married couples, come along as well. Or sometimes someone comes and they bring a friend or another family member with them. And some people come on their own and they maybe don't even know anybody at all. So it really is it's a complete mix. But I've always found on every holiday that everyone has just got on so well and met new people that they didn't know, but really made lasting friendships as well. And we've had some people that have returned from holidays, so they've been 1 year and they've come again another year, and they've kept in touch with people on the holiday, and they really have formed some new friendships. So it's a great opportunity to meet people.
What's the cost of a Torch holiday?
The holidays are going to cost £550, so that's fully catered and includes all the trips, the organised trips as well. Every holiday costs the same net this year coming. Also, but we do have a bursary fund available. So if money is an issue, I would encourage people to explore the bursary fund because it is generous, and we do want to make them as affordable as possible. So if you're worried about the money side of things, please do still inquire and get in touch with Torch and ask about the bursary fund, which is available.
And there's clearly loads of benefits to being a participant on the holiday, but you have arranged these holidays for quite a while now. And what is your favourite thing about being on a Torch holiday as a staff member?
Yeah, so I was thinking about it, and I think one of my favourite things is when I hear at the end of a holiday and a guest will say, and this has happened quite a few times, but they will say, "This was just what I needed." And they really feel that this was the right thing for them to go on, and they've either made those new friends that they needed, or they've just felt really encouraged and uplifted during the week, and it's just given them a real boost. And just hearing that kind of feedback I just find so amazing to know that we've, the holiday that we've put on has really made a difference to somebody, and it has been just what they needed.
You heard Becky Davies and Lynn Davies talking about this year's holidays. Here to talk about what it's like to be a guest on a Torch holiday are Colin and Lesley Palgrave, who are talking once again to our new producer, Lynn Davies.
Well, I'm totally blind from birth, born in the 1950s, and spent a good deal of my life not being a Christian, not particularly even believing in God. And now I would call myself a Christian. And I'm happily married to Lesley, who's online here, and 72 years old.
I'm Lesley, married to Colin, as just said. And I've been a Christian for many years. I went through the water baptism when I was 12. And I would say over the years, my faith has gone through various journeys. But now I'm very happy to be in a relationship where we both have the faith, and I'm very involved with my local church as a church warden and safeguarding officer. And we're really pleased to discover Torch. We've had connection with Torch for a long time, since it was actually had its own house in Sussex, and but we've kept contact since it's moved away from that base, and we found it very spiritually refreshing, and it's great to have the Torch breaks to go to.
Yeah, because you joined the Torch holiday in Highley last year, where I had the great pleasure of meeting you both. What was it that made you choose this particular break?
Well, to be honest, it was actually because it was in a different place. We'd been to the greenhouse at Poole, and that's really lovely, and we had a great time there. But we were interested in going to Highley. We knew it was a Christian conference centre, so we were interested, and we were a bit worried at first because the programme was set out as people who, it seemed to be saying people who recently lost their sight. And we've, like Colin, I was born with a visual impairment, which has got worse over the years. So I can't, although I'm constantly adjusting. So in that sense, perhaps because I'm losing what sight I have, I guess I could come into that category. So we hesitated for a bit. But when we got there, we found that actually, although that was the stated group, everybody was in a different place on that, and it actually worked very well.
I think for me, I just love the Christian holidays. It's a wonderful opportunity to recharge your spiritual battery, if you like. And the people who attend, both the volunteers and the guests, are just such great people. It's so nice to be among fellow Christians. I suppose it's like stepping into a warm bath. I mean, we go out into life. A lot of my friends aren't Christians, but you can go to a place with Torch where we're all singing from the same hymn sheet, literally, and it's just a great place to be among great people.
Colin, what is your favourite thing then about a Torch holiday?
I think for me it is the camaraderie. I mean, I don't think I heard one crossword in the whole week, which is pretty good going for a group of people, I think. The people I get on extremely well with. We do activities, we do have spiritual time. I particularly like the prayers before breakfast, which might come as a shock to some of my friends, but it is nice to get up in the morning, shower and go straight into worship before you eat. There's something nice about that, I think.
Lesley, what was your favourite part of the Highly holiday?
Oh, that's a difficult one because I think I enjoyed all of it, really. It had I think it has a really good balance. And that's one thing I value about the holidays, starting, as Colin says, with worship, and then also having free time and having sessions where we, just worked as a group, either, silly games or talking about various things, exploring issues to do with sight. I think they got the balance right. And that's one of the things I like, that it involves different aspects. I suppose the other thing I value is that you can relax, because there are volunteers there who like-minded and are very helpful. And it does take some of the stress. If you're visually impaired, inevitably going on holiday does involve stress.
And I would add to that for anyone who doesn't know, so it's not all praying and singing choruses. I mean, we do that, but there is a lot of, we go out and we do things, and we have games in the evening for those who want it. And in the last place we went to at Highly, there was even a bar. So we got in the bar, had a couple of beers. So it's not all holy stuff. It's a good holiday.
So, Colin, you were talking about not being a particularly committed Christian until you got in touch with Torch. What would you say to someone who perhaps might be faith curious but who are not sure, or somebody who has become disillusioned with Christianity and they think, well, this holiday sounds amazing, but I don't know if I am completely there?
Well, I think, before I met my wife, Lesley, 29 years ago, was it, Lesley?
30 years ago. Yeah.
30 years ago, before I met Lesley, I wasn't a Christian. I sort of believed in God, but wasn't sure. And of course, meeting Lesley did bring me nearer to God. But I did have a bit of a road to Damascus moment when I walked into Torch House for our first Torch holiday. And I walked through the door and sat down. I think we were late at the time because there was problems with the trains.
Yeah, it was.
I walked into the dining room and I sat down. I just did feel an overwhelming sense of spirituality, if you like. And it was a bit of a moment for me. I started talking to people. I suddenly realised this is where I should be.
Lesley, what would you say to someone who is considering coming on the Torch holiday? I mean, Christian or seeking, just anyone who are thinking about it.
I would say perhaps look at the holidays and see which one you think might suit you. So it does have a really good feeling and you can really relax. And as Colin says, we do things like going out and so on. It's not all sitting there praying and reading the Bible. It's a really good experience and you should consider it and don't be put off. I'd say do be curious, do explore.
Anyone who has any interest in Christianity, or is a Christian or thinking about it, it's well worth going, because there is absolutely no pressure. You don't have to attend anything. Obviously, we'd hope that people come along with Christ in mind, but there's no pressure, and you can talk to people during the holiday, and you can have just a blinking good week. It's really good.
Yeah, and I'd also add that when we say in the evening, we sometimes have games. For anybody who feels put off by the term games, they're really sort of like team activities, getting to know each other. And for example, we had one evening when we had something called Musical Mayhem, where you split into two teams and actually put something musical together for each team, and then had a sing-off. We had quizzes. We had various things. It was a variety of things, and really just good fun.
And thanks to the volunteers who make it possible.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They really are.
And there's always lots of help to get from one place to another. Always lots and lots of help available for people.
Yeah, so you don't have to know anyone or feel like you need to know your way around.
No.
No.
If you have difficulty finding a room or getting back to your room, there's always someone to help you. I mean, I've witnessed people getting up from their meal in the middle of their meal because they saw someone getting up and walking across the dining room, leaving their meal and taking them back to their room and coming back to finish their meal, which presumably had gone a bit cold by then, but they didn't mind. They did it. They did it happily.
If you know any sighted people who'd like to volunteer on a Torch holiday, please spread the word, as we couldn't do these holidays without our fantastic volunteers. And don't forget, if you're blind or partially sighted and you'd like to learn more about any of the services provided by Torch, including booking a place on our Torch Together holidays, our accessible books and resources, or our groups, our client services team would be very happy to speak with you. The number to call for information is 01858 438 260. That's 01858 438 260. Or you can email info@torchtrust.org. You can also find us on social media. Just search for Torch Trust on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. Well, I'm sorry to say that we're all out of time for this week. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Reflections, and until next week, from me, Marilyn, and everyone on the Reflections team, goodbye and God bless.
You've been listening to Reflections from Torch Trust.